Last week we talked about how proficient we are at avoiding our pain. We're adaptive beings who learn quickly how to survive, and we become really good at it. But we weren't merely created to survive. We were made to thrive in the life of freedom and fullness that God intends for us. And what keeps us settling for survival is the fact that we're opposed by evil. The evil one hates God and detests anything and anyone reflecting God's likeness, especially us as God's children. And because Satan couldn't be God, as he fell from heaven, he promised to spend eternity bringing darkness, death, and destruction to God's creation. And so that's what he's done. And as a result, we live in a world wrought with pain and brokenness. Instead of living victoriously in our purpose and our destiny, we spend our lives coping with our pain from our emotional wounds that we experience all throughout our lives. And everything that we think, everything that we feel and do is filtered through our pain. And that keeps us struggling in life. But to be able to live victoriously over our pain and our struggle, we must be courageous and be willing to do the inner work, that inner heart work, to recognize, to face, and to heal our pain so that we can live wholeheartedly in the fullness of our true identity as sons and daughters of God. But our greatest obstacle to that way of living is our avoidance of our pain. The more advanced we become as a society, the greater we become at distracting and numbing ourselves from our pain. And like I said, we get really good at it. And easily accessible to us are various anesthetics that we use to keep our pain at bay every day. Our lives are busier than ever, and they're packed full of alluring distractions. With seemingly unlimited resources available, we're able to create whatever we want to feel gratified in the moment. And we've become professionals at avoiding our pain. So we miss the invitation for healing that God offers us by acknowledging and addressing our emotional pain. In my work, I see people's pain every day. The biggest thread that contributes to the place of discouragement and defeat that many people experience in their lives is that their pain wasn't addressed properly when it happened. And it's been there in their bodies, in their hearts, lodged there for a long, long time, unaddressed. Unfortunately, most people don't seek help until their pain is pulsating so loud that they can't function or that their bodies are breaking down. And one of the reasons that I'm able to help people get healing from their pain is that I was willing to face my own deepest, darkest pain. But I too lived many years settling for numbing, avoiding, and distracting myself from my own pain. Our society enables that. It enables us to continue to do that. And even many Christian streams are uncomfortable talking about the real and the raw of emotional pain. If it's addressed, it's frustrating in those same streams when people just give these inspirational pep talks and scriptures and religious disciplines or other quick fix strategies to suggest for solutions to the pain with little understanding or real compassion for the depth of people's pain and struggle. But you know what? Our problem is not our pain. Our problem is our avoidance of our pain. So we stay stuck and settling for a much smaller and harder existence than the one that God intended for us. And it's time today to stop settling for struggle and start really living. The first place we start to do that is understanding why we avoid our pain and how to begin to do something different. We avoid our pain because, number one, we're taught that pain is bad. We deem our pain as weakness. We deem our pain as failure. Our culture teaches us to numb it or anesthetize it, so we never learn how to properly process it. But what we don't understand is that pain is a signal that something needs to be tended to inside of us. And once we address it, healing is the byproduct. Further, we forget that without pain, there's no growth. And it's in those valleys of life that we're prepared to ascend to new and higher mountaintops that we would have not had it not been for those painful experiences. So we have to embrace them, but then resolve them. The second reason we avoid our pain is because we believe that we can't handle our pain. We fear feeling our pain. We're terrified that it's going to overwhelm us. We're terrified that it's going to expose our inadequacies. And sometimes it may even feel like it's going to kill us. But it won't. Like I said before, pain is simply energy, and as we embrace it and allow it to flow through us, it will resolve itself, and then healing and peace follow. But if it stays dammed up inside of us, it wreaks havoc on our bodies and our souls, and we must set our pain free so that we can live free. The third reason that we avoid pain with everything in us is that we are afraid of our own vulnerability. We hate being vulnerable. It's so uncomfortable, especially if we've been shamed or put down for being vulnerable in the past. So we make vows to never share our heart again. We make vows that we're never going to let anyone see us be vulnerable again. So we keep our pain locked away from ourselves and others. But vulnerability is necessary for healing, and it's necessary for connection. And as long as we keep our pain locked away, we not only feel more pain, but we also feel loneliness and isolation. And we need a safe place to process our pain so it can be heard and validated with an understanding, compassionate heart. And it's there that our pain can heal. But we've got to be willing to be vulnerable enough to trust somebody to acknowledge and to share our pain. And number 4, the fourth reason why we avoid our pain is because we easily run to comfort, and we've gotten great at it. We're experts at numbing and distracting ourselves from our pain. Unlimited resources are available for us to gratify and anesthetize ourselves from anything that feels uncomfortable or hard. We say we want transformation in our lives. We say we want things to change, but we're often unwilling to go through the uncomfortable process it takes to have that change, to have that transformation, to have the freedom that we want. We forget that it's in our breakdowns that we get our breakthroughs. So we have to acknowledge and release and resolve our pain. The fifth reason that we avoid our pain is because simply life is working for us. Well, it's working well enough anyway. So we avoid taking an honest look at how our heart is really doing. We have enough money, enough success, or we're busy striving and achieving, trying to make life happen for us so that we will have enough, that we don't take the time to notice our pain. Or we're so overwhelmed with our duties and our responsibilities in life that there's nothing left over to tend to. There's no energy, no time left over to tend to the condition of our heart. And then the sixth reason why we avoid our pain is we don't know how to deal with our pain. We don't know what to do with it. We have no idea what to begin to do with our pain or where to begin. We have had no model or teacher for helping us cope with our pain, so we avoid it. And it feels just easier to keep it pushed down and keep going. But you know, when we do that, our pain doesn't go away. It doesn't go away until we've acknowledged it and dealt with it. And until we do, it keeps us in that cycle of self-sabotage until we address it. If there's unaddressed pain inside of you, give yourself the gift to give yourself the space for your pain to have a voice. Ask for the help and the support that you need so that you can be heard and validated, and so your pain can be healed once and for all. Peace, freedom, and even joy are right on the other side of all that suffering.